guys, welcome back to the Sports to AM. Here we are previewing the England versus Pakistan third test matches again at the Aegis Rose Bowl in Southampton. Joining me are Anuraag Peesara and Kushagr Dixit, two brilliant minds of analyzing cricket, and I am delighted to have them with me today. So the England-Pakistan series at this point of time is being led by England by a 1-0 margin. The first test was won by England dramatically, really, on the day, and the second test was probably where rain actually spoiled sport, and the rain was actually the winner of the test match pretty much. And now here we are, third game, and a chance for Pakistan to either level the series or for England to ramp home the advantage. So coming first to Kushagr Dixit, again, this is going to be a tough game for both teams because there is, again, a chance of rain always in England, but it is still predicted that we might have rain on 3 days in this 5-day period. So how do you look at team selections then, and what could actually be the X factor in these?
No, very warm welcome to both of you guys, and hello to myself, to the viewers. As far as the match is concerned, let's not forget that it's not just the rain that's the problem at Southampton. We often saw the match started, and within half an hour, their players had to come off because of bad light. So it will be a combination of factors. And while you were just discussing prior to the video, Anurag mentioned that 3 out of the 5 days are in danger of being washed off. So if it goes like the last match, I think I really doubt that we'll get a result out of this match either. But if all goes well, and if we get play for like 3.5 to 4 days, because these days, on an average, that's around that is the time that is required to get a result. So if that happens, there are a couple of questions on the Pakistani side because Naseem Shah looked a little off in the 5 overs that he bowled. He wasn't great. I won't can't really take much out of 5 overs from a bowler, but those 5 overs he wasn't great. And before coming to that test match, he was a sort of a fitness doubt, and there was a lot of talk especially among Pakistani journalists, who mentioned that he could be out with some fitness issues. So of course, the mantle again will rest on the bowlers. The toss will be important. I think Pakistan were very brave to go in for a bat. I think in the back of their minds, I think even England and Pakistan, both of them knew that it's very difficult to get a result in the last match. So in some sort of a perverse way, I think this sort of a struggle that they had against the English bowlers might actually hold them in a good stead. But still, it's a massive game for the likes of Asad Shafiq, Azhar Ali. Let's see if Fawad Alam gets another chance. And I'll probably ask you as well. Have you ever seen a weirder stance than the Fawad Alam? Because he literally stands facing like this to the bowler. Like could not get it, and then he turns completely. If he's going to play side on, just stay side on. I know Chanderpaul used to do something like that, but Chanderpaul was
not to
almost
this extent.
always, and he was almost always moving, right? So, but the thing was, he was always moving before the bowler pitched the ball. But once the ball had been pitched, he was stable. With Fawad, at least I felt like, at least in England, he'll struggle because as long as the ball keeps going out, he'll be fine. Soon as the ball comes in, and that's what happened with Vokes, right? And people like Anderson and Broad and all these guys will suss you out very, very fast. So he has to. There is a lot of talk about him, and there's a lot of talk about his first class average and everything else. Also a lot of talk about how mentally strong he is. So I really hope he gets another chance, and that one innings of 4 balls wasn't all he got after 11 years. Another sticking point that I feel for Pakistan would be whether they play Fahim Ashraf, because I think he has a few backers in the team management. So if I were Pakistan, I'd probably go with the same squad. I'll not change it because I think they would still need one spinner. And for as good as Fahim Ashraf is, I don't think he would provide that amount of solidity. And if they do go with Fahim Ashraf, I have a sneaky feeling they'll end up dropping Fawad Alam, which would make them incredibly weak in terms of batting, because that just leaves them with 4 batsmen, a keeper, and Fahim Ashraf. So that just won't be enough. So yeah, I would hope that Pakistan goes in with the same lineup and they try to be brave because they've got to force the initiative here.
Yeah, definitely. I think the onus is on them to win this test match to level the series. You talked a lot about Fawad Alam's stance. We have obviously seen Chandrapal. Chandrapal used to the most important thing is your stability during contact, your balance when you're making contact with the ball. And I think that is where Chandrapal was really brilliant. His balance was proper. I think that is what you need from Fawad Alam. As you said, the shuffling stance and things like that. I think Chandrapal kept it more open to in his entire game. Rather, Fawad Alam likes to shift a lot, so I think it will make a lot of difference. Anurag, I think over the last few hours, I've been hearing nagging rumors that Jofra Archer or Mark Wood may play in place of Sam Curran. So that is one change that people are expecting in English media. But apart from that, do you see any changes from their side, and how do you look at this game from England's perspective?
Yeah, I mean, hello guys. So I think that could be possible. That could be very much possible because as much as impressive as Sam Curran was in the overs that he bowled, I think uh, I don't know what happened with Jofra Archer. We talked about it in the first test review. He was not bowling very fast. Uh, I sense there was some sort of disruption with his run up as well. Sometimes it happens, even irrelevant of which level you're playing at. Sometimes you don't get that momentum in your run up, and that sort of impacts your speed. And maybe that must have happened. I don't know, but I think that could have been one of the reasons why he was not picked in the second test. Uh, but then I really think there is a good chance Jofra Archer could come in. Would it be for Sam Curran? I think I don't know, but I'm expecting Jofra Archer to come back. But then again, Curran also makes a good case for himself. If the conditions remain the same, and as Kushagr just mentioned, it's either going to remain cloudy or it's going to rain. There is no alternative to that. So I think in that kind of a scenario, I think it's better to actually have Sam Curran who could he makes the ball move. He makes batsmen's life very difficult. And technically, I really don't think there is anyone besides Babar Azam who's really that good enough to face such an intricate bowling attack. There is Stuart Broad uh, who's going to challenge them with his bounce. There is James Anderson and Sam Curran who is going to make them dance with their swing. And if they can put in Jofra Archer there, I think that's going to really make a quite an attack. I think that's what I'd hope for. And as far as Fawad Alam is concerned, I think uh, I also remember Hashim Amla. I mean, obviously he had beautiful stance. Then no question there. But
Yeah,
if you remember, that
yeah,
guy
yeah,
used to stand like a little outside of leg stump, and then he used to
yes, yes,
shuffle
yes,
inside, and his feet used to be almost close to the off stump and middle stump. So a lot of
yes.
people say
Yeah.
that he never spoke. I never saw him talk about it, but he says that he wants some momentum going into a shot, so that little bit of movement helps him. So is that the same in Fawad Alam? I don't know. I think we'll have to see a bit more. And obviously, we haven't seen a lot of Fawad Alam, although his high first class record and everything has been magnificent. Uh, and and honestly, I think the way he kept plugging in all these years, despite scoring tons of runs, he was still not being picked up. He still kept scoring runs. He still kept knocking. I think that speaks for his mental ability. I don't think anyone has to question
Yeah,
anything about that.
yeah.
So I'm hoping the guy gets a good shot again, and to bring back someone like a Shadab once again would be very disastrous from a Pakistani perspective. I hope that does not happen. I hope Fawad Alam gets another shot at it because he deserves it, obviously. And I think we haven't seen the best of him. Obviously, those stunts are weird, but and it's even I kind of fail to understand how could he potentially uh, end up giving something productive out of it. So it'll be interesting to see, but I still want to keep an open mind there. Let's see what happens. Having said that, I think England once again, if the game goes through, England will be having an upper hand just because of the versatility of their bowlers. I think that is really going to keep them inside. Their batting lineup, you never know. Joe Root, he's sort of has this triple figure syndrome. He doesn't like getting there for some reason. He gets to 30s, he gets to 40s, he gets to 60s, 70s. He doesn't like getting to the 100. If he was really that consistent, half as consistent, I think he would have been above Virat Kohli and Steve Smith. Justin, I think that's what is lagging with Joe Root. I mean, just statistically, not obviously technically. Uh, the number of times he's gone by, the number of test matches he's played. Look at that. I think that record speaks for itself. Uh, I still don't think Joe Root is right now at his best. So there are plenty of problems with the batting lineup. Let's see how it goes on.
Yeah, so very interesting points put on by Anurag here, especially in regards to how England will have to deal with this test match and how we should actually look forward to seeing a little bit more of Fawad Alam because his first class record has been fantastic, and we can hope that he actually takes that first class record now into an international record coming in the future. So one question for you guys: you are a England or a Pakistan captain. You choose for yourself, but you win the toss. What do you do?
I think I would bowl first. If it's me, I think just capitalize on the conditions, get them out for a. I think it's very much possible. If I mean, it also depends upon the conditions. If it is slightly cloudy, I think the either captains would have no doubt but going in to bowl first. I think that would really help them. If England just in case England wins the toss, they're putting Pakistan out there, and they're managing to bowl them out 4 or 5 wickets before rain comes in. Just I mean that is going to eventually happen. So 4 or 5 wickets for less than 100 runs. I think Pakistan are right on the back foot. There's no way they might lose hopes of winning the game, and that's where the process starts of losing the game. Once you lose the hope, the game is almost gone. So I think if depending upon the weather conditions, I think this is going to be a last minute call. I don't think both teams would be. They'll be just waiting to wake up in the morning, just look outside the window how the weather conditions are. And Rose Bowl, obviously, they have this beautiful hotel like right adjacent to the stadium. So I think that must
Yeah.
be a beautiful sight to wake up to. And they'll see the conditions. I think that's when they'll take a call. I really don't. If so, as I said in the hypothetical scenario, I think they would go they'll pick bowling first.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So just
yeah,
Kushagr, yeah.
Karan. Yeah, so as far as I'm concerned, I think both the captains need to look at this match in a manner as in they have to speak with their team and their management and decide that we are going to bat once in this match. Now, whether that is if you bat in the first innings or whether you come in the second innings, that's a different sport altogether. You have to learn from the previous match, Southampton. You have to learn that you might end up losing a day or two, and so if you're left with just about three and a half days to get a result, the best way to get a result is to have a 300 plus score and try to get the other team out quickly. And with both these teams, we've seen that propensity to just fritter away. So if I were the captain, and as Anurag said, it'll probably depend on day one. If there's another doubt that I have is that if England are looking to play Jofra Archer, there has been in some circles they've been talking about Mark Wood as well. They will
Yeah,
prepare a
they have.
spicy pitch. So yeah, I think they'll prepare a spicy pitch. So yeah, I think it makes sense to actually bowl first if you win the toss. With the English batting lineup, I think if the Pakistanis are able, if Abbas and Shaheen and Naseem are on their game, they can have them back in the pavilion by tea. I think by
Sure.
tea, if they get a full day, they might bat on the very first day because I have no faith in this English batting lineup. And I agree, Josh Butler came good in the first Test match, but that's because England outplayed Pakistan in like 2.5 sessions out of 12, and that was it. So Pakistan had to take heart from that. And if I were the captain, I'd definitely bowl first if the conditions were in my favor. Regardless of that, I'll just drill it into my batsmen. You just got to bat once in this match, just once. I don't want to be batting again and saving my backside in the fourth inning or the third inning, whatever.
Yeah, I think some brilliant insights from both of you guys. So, from the reports that we have heard, there's the same strip that was used in the second game that will be used in the third match. So, I think that might also play a factor in the captain's mind. Uh, Nevertheless, I feel that I also agree with you guys. I think it would be better to bowl first and get the team out quickly before tea and then see the game from there. Obviously, you would love to bat only once. You do not absolutely do not want to bat in the fourth innings. So I think I think a lot of resilience will come into play when the team who bats into the middle. So it will be a tricky toss, but obviously weather will play a huge part. So let's see when these guys actually wake up to Hilton's hospitality in the morning and get their eyes out in the open and see what the weather conditions are. They will decide what to do. And we hope someday that we are also at Hilton's hospitality in Aegis Bowl and commenting right on the stadium and doing the same thing. So thank you, Anurag. Thank you, Kushagr. It has been wonderful. And we'll look forward to the England versus Pakistan test match. It's great to have test cricket back. It is the best form of cricket indeed. And please follow us at the Sports Doing. Thank you.